I was told I should say that. And now that I've said it, it feels really weird, and I'm probably never going to do that again. Hey. Love Only from the Storm is here. Emmalou from the Storm, hello. I am a bit unprepared today, so sorry as you watch me scramble. It's good to see everybody showing up here. Look at this. Would you just look at it? Would you just look at it? Oops. Frank J, you did not miss the party. Hey. Jimmy's here as well. The Thelma in Chicago. Heck yeah. Loving the haircut. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you very, very much. Just 781-788. I should do VO. I do quite a bit of VO work. Nothing huge, but I do quite a bit. Mary West and Lyrica Joy are on. Good to see you. Helene. Good to see you there. Beth Lou, Dana. Good to see you all. Baby Witches in North Dakota. Tony Spark already kicking it off here. Okay. Dawn with the lightning bolts blue. Good morning. Morning. Oh, sweet. Velma, you found out by YouTube. I'm live. Heck yeah. Glad there's no one in the lobby with you. Yeah. It is good to see everybody today. I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. This is Tony Spark's birthday week. Lots of happy birthday love for Tony Spark here. He has been celebrating nonstop and is working remotely today, a.k.a. Somewhere near a computer, likely intoxicated. He says he's not here to give me the cue cards today. Yeah, so I was going to talk about that, Tony. Tony's not here to give me like the hand signals for what I need to be doing. So it's like playtime here, folks. It's going to be complete mayhem. We're not going to know what in the hell's going on. Tony Spark's not here to produce and direct for me, so it's going to be absolute madness. Absolute madness. The music stopped, Melissa. I flipped the music over. You know what? We haven't seen Cake. It's Tony Spark's birthday week, and we haven't seen Cake yet. It's also Shane's birthday week, another Storm team member here. And he's the dude responsible for those badass intro graphics. The motion graphics. Jesse's the badass for creating the graphics. Hey, Schmutz is in the chat on the YouTube side there. Nice. Excellent. Utter chaos. We've got all kinds of members of the Storm here. Something we haven't talked about in a couple of lives, but the Storm is our VIP community. It's our paid subs on the TikTok live side of things. If you have an interest in joining that on TikTok, during a live, you can choose, I think it's either the star top center or bottom left, and it will tell you what all is included with that. The multi-stream that I'm doing now, unlike the TikTok live stream studio program that I was using before, does not tell me if someone joins the Storm. So, it doesn't make it as obvious, so I may miss it if I don't welcome you on the air here. Just know that after the stream is over, I will check and I will get a link sent to you so that you can join the VIP Facebook group that we have. So, Cake Day tomorrow. There we go. Tony's partying hard all week long here. No lemon cake allowed. You got it, Jill. You got it. We've got some good stories lined up for you today. You know, even though it's his birthday week and he's working remotely, Tony Spark did manage to get all of the stories ready for us today. So thank you, Tony. Everybody appreciates it. Everybody appreciates it. Frankie J, heck yeah. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Susan is in South Africa. Wow. Late evening there. We've got some listeners, watchers. I don't know what the word you would say. Some followers, fans. I don't know what the hell the word is, but from all over the world, and it is the coolest thing ever. Look, Candy Thunder is in the chat now as well. Lots of lightning bolts and love for Candy Thunder. Gotta give it there. Leslie, yeah, you made it for a live. Libby, we come most Wednesdays. Awesome. Heck yeah. Ashley made it to a live as well. Leslie, no lemon cake. No master lemon cake, please. Sad little hello from Scotland. Why is it a sad little hello, BC? No way. No way. Yeah, Tony Spark turned the ripe old age of 31 today. He's still a pup. Still a pup. Siri, thank you for the pumpkin pie. Appreciate that. Mary for the lightning bolts. Love only for the lightning bolts. Zen for the lightning bolts as well. It is so good to see you all. We're going to dive straight into a story here. We have a follower submission for you. As a reminder, since this is a follower submission, OP, if you happen to be in chat and want to claim this story, that's entirely you. It's your choice. My brain is mush today, so expect lots of screw ups and nonsense for me. Very, very sorry about that. But OP, if you're in the chat and want to claim your story, feel free to, because chat may have some direct questions for you. And if OP is in chat does a pretty good job of saying OP is in chat so that I know and can look out for it there. Cindy is in Ottawa, Canada. Heck yeah. Siri, thank you so much for the lightning bolts. Appreciate that. Nicole is in Manchester. Welcome. Oh, dang. BC, you might lose your dog and your sensitive soul. I am very, very sorry to hear that. That is no bueno. Lots of love heading your way. Hannah, thank you so much for the fire. CPL for the lightning bolts. Appreciate that. Frank, you're going to have to change your name so no one thinks you're a dude. Well, now we know. And you can tell by the pic there. It's just so tiny on the screen that I'm seeing that it is a bit hard to see there. Lots of love for BC. Okay, let's go ahead and dive right in here. Wait a second. Helene, you can't see? Is everybody else getting a video feed? Well, so people only get to listen and not watch. Yeah, no, you can watch. There's a video feed. Right? Right? OP means original poster. Everything's fine on that end. Okay. YouTube side. Helene, let me know if you do get your video feed popping there. I'm assuming everything is okay for everybody else and it's an isolated thing. If it ends up being a thing for anybody else, just let me know. All right, let's go ahead and dive straight in here. The title of this story is, Am I the Astronaut for Not Inviting a College Friend to My Baby Shower? My husband, 24 male, and I, 26 female, met in college about 5 years ago and started dating a year after that. He had two very close friends that we'll call A, 22 female, and H, 22 female. He had known H for years before meeting me and told her pretty much everything until we started dating. My husband can be pretty clueless when it comes to when women like him because H had a crush on him for years. No, we can see where this is going, and we'll go ahead and pop these red flags right now. How about that? Obviously, H started getting jealous when hubby and I started dating and began to try to bump me out of his life. I went through years of confronting her and telling her that I was uncomfortable with how she was always leaving me out of conversations and calling him at all hours of the night because she was in crisis. She just chalked it up to me being immature and kept insisting that I was just trying to take her friend away. After hubby and I got engaged, she started ignoring me entirely and continued to call my husband, telling him that I was making a mistake moving out of her house and trying to get life started on my own. Throughout our entire engagement, she would show up at his house, demanding time with him and saying that she should be more important than me because she was having mental health struggles. What in the hell is that noise? What is going on? I don't know what the heck it was, but there was some kind of loud banging around going on there. Oh, it's Jesse's trash that's full of food wrappers. She did pass around some curry cashews here earlier that are apparently a big hit, and I came up with a name for them. They're called Kershews. Slight tangent. Game on. Okay. Hubby and I had many conversations about this that always ended in a draw because he obviously didn't want to lose a friend and I don't want to lose him, or I didn't want to lose him. After we got married, he started to see how crazy she was and cut most contact. Now on to the real story. H hasn't talked to us since our wedding back in July 2022. She has called hubby a few times asking for mental health help, but hubby has always directed her to her parents and other friends that are closer to where she lives. We are expecting our first baby in June this year. I had my baby shower last weekend. We were trying to keep it small because obviously who can handle a baby shower with hundreds of people? Hubby and I have big families who know too many people. A, the friend from earlier, texted me telling me that H had been complaining behind my back about how she hadn't been invited to the shower. A was definitely on my side, reminding her that she didn't even get to go, but we had lunch together instead, which didn't seem to appease her. Now I'm sitting here having panic attacks, wondering if she's going to call me and tell me that I should have invited her. Am I the asshole for putting up those boundaries? No. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this one here. Which, by the way, if you didn't catch the last live, which was on Monday, we now have an NTA graphic here. Not the asshole. We now have that. We also have an Everyone Sucks here now. Hey yo. No, not at all. There was weirdness, and she knew that she was crossing boundaries before this. She knew that she had intentionally made it uncomfortable. She knew that you and her aren't close. And with a baby shower, most of the time the dude's not going to be there anyway. So it's people that are close to you, as in the mom to be, right? So why would she expect to be invited? It kind of seems like H here is just looking for any reason to bitch about anything. So OP, I don't think that you should be surprised here at all. And you probably aren't surprised that she used this as just another reason to bitch about how you've wronged her somehow. You took away her friend, which she obviously had feelings for at one point, which is even more reason for her to not be invited because she hasn't taken any of it well. So I think you know that this boundary is called for and is the right thing to do. And so does she. She just is still fighting against it, even though you guys are married. Like, when is she going to stop fighting against this? You guys got engaged. He moved out with you. You guys got married. Now you're expecting a child, and she's still fighting against this. What? When is she going to give up? Now, the whole mental health issue undertone for all of this is a little bit concerning because she kept coming to him asking for mental health help. Why? Why was she coming to him? Like, is he skilled in that area? Has he previously, as her friend, offered help in that area? I'm that part I'm curious about here. And OP, are you in chat? Original poster, Kira is what OP stands for. OP, do you happen to be in chat? What is his reaction to all this? Deb says, no idea. I mean, she does say in here that he started to see how she was acting crazy. Okay, here we go. After we got married, he started to see how crazy she was and cut most contact. So we don't get feedback about his reactions to her bitching about the baby shower, but he did finally see what was going on and decided to cut most contact with her. So we got a couple of people talking about how they have stories for us. And just a reminder, you can submit your story at dusty-thunder.com. There's a submit your story button. We'll take you straight to a form. And that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to do it on the Dusty Thunder subreddit. Those two things. Eterna, the short version of the story here is that OP and her husband met in college about 5 years ago. He had or was living with a close friend, female, who apparently had feelings for him, and she's been bucking hard against him being with someone else. And all the way through them getting engaged, married, and now expecting a child. And now she's bitching because she wasn't invited to the baby shower, even though most people weren't because it was a small thing and they have massive families. So there's that. Landed on NTA on my end here. And OP, if you happen to be in chat, no, you're completely warranted here. And this person continues to buck against everything that you do. So don't be surprised. I am surprised that she's still causing issues for you at this point when you're expecting your first child. Hopefully this will make it go away. Maybe this is some last ditch effort. I don't know. But the fact that he's cut most contact with her is great. He probably needs to cut all contact, not most, because this is obviously an issue for your relationship. He needs to cut all contact with her. And the fact that she calls him or called him frequently talking about mental health issues, is a red flag, and it may signal that she might be willing to do more things and more drastic things. Stalker ex-friend. Yes, there you go. There you go. Oh, Helene, yeah. I'm with you now. Okay. So we actually started taking the audio from these and throwing them out on Spotify as well. What we might start doing, because I think the in-between is a little distracting for some people, the only feedback we've heard from people were people that didn't like all the in-between. So we might just clip just the stories and the feedback and post that up and take out the in-between stuff. Hey, check this out. I've got my my new cup with my new astronaut stickers all over it here. My new 9-line mug. It's a very clingy. Sorry, I've got some big old ice cubes in there. Ooh, Fatale Attraction. There you go. So as a reminder, those stickers are still available at dusty-thunder.com. We do have them in stock now, including that sticker sheet, which is where I got the majority of what's on that cup. They are super cool. I'm a big fan of them. Jesse did a great job designing them. Good job. High five from a distance. There we go. Also, the Thunder and Spark podcast filming is next week. Tony Spark, Candy Thunder, both in the chat here. It's gonna be wild. I think they actually nailed down a logo this morning too, and it's stinking cool. So be looking forward to that. Candy Thunder's podcast part 1 and 2 are now out on YouTube, Spotify, all the other podcast channels. We have another one maybe being filmed this weekend with a new guest, so look for that. Also, the Protect the Cake shirt and a bunch of other shirts are available on DustyThunderSwag.com, and that site does ship internationally. So if you're international, like Diabolic here in France, you can shop there. Jasmine says, to an extent, I have a guy friend I call because he works EMS too, but never crossed that line. It's a dangerous line. Hey, No Face, check it. We did. Boom. We have coffee mugs with the Astronaut on it. Can you get a sneak? I don't have a file of the logo to share you right now. Maybe for next time. There we go. Candy Thunder says we'll share it in the VIP group. Heyo. Heyo. Heidi, thank you so much for the hand hearts. Appreciate that. Britt, thank you for the lightning bolts. Appreciate that very much. Leslie says, don't take out the little conversations between you, Candy, and Spark. Okay. We'll leave that kind of stuff in. And on the podcast stuff, I'm talking about the live. The podcast stuff will always keep all the in-between stuff in because those are topical. But the podcast stuff where I'm interacting with chat, I think was the thing that people who were just listening through Spotify were like, eh. But we'll see. We'll experiment with it and we'll see. Oh, yeah. Baby Frankie needs a Protect the Cake onesie to wear for his first birthday. Let me make a note. I think that might be a possibility, actually. Protect the Cake onesie. I think it's actually doable. Oh, heck, Debs. Good idea. So one of our good friends on here, Sarah and Waffles, made this freaking crochet astronaut and sent it in to us. How cool is this? He's got a removable jetpack. He's holding a freaking lightning bolt. This is it's one of the coolest things I have ever seen. And her Etsy shop is called Sarah's Crochet. So, man, you got to go check it out because she's got all kinds of really cool stuff. And this is just flipping incredible. He's even got the little glare on his helmet. What? Come on. Too stinking cool. Also, the level of skill required to pull this off is just something that is truly admirable. Sarah and Waffles, you're a rock star. Friggin' rock star. Now it lives on the shelf next to its astronaut friend up there. Heck yeah. Ooh, a beanie, Jay? Damn, that's a good idea. Onesie, beanie. I was writing down J instead of beanie. That's where my brain is at. Beanie. It's a damn good idea. It's crochet. Yeah. It's freaking cool. Need it as a keychain. Ooh, that'd be cool. G. Leslie, yeah. I've been on Spotify for a while. Not pushing anything live out there, but we do the weekly compilations, get pushed out to Spotify. All of the podcasts that we do get pushed out there too. And we've been taking the audio from these lives, the live story readings, and pushing those out on Spotify as well. So while you're in the car, you can just boop, 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 and there you go. There you go. Long road trips, you just hear about assholes the whole time. You're going to see assholes on the road. You hear assholes, hear assholes. That's not what I meant to say. Wasn't what I meant. Smash cake. Heck yeah. Leslie, only thing you'd cut is the beginning when everyone is hopping on live. There you go. There you go. Turtle Terra is in the house. Welcome. Jasmine, heck yeah, do it. Don't be an astronaut tumbler. Heck yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to go ahead and rock the next story here. This one is from the Dusty Thunder subreddit, which is another place to submit your stories. I think, did Tony Spark message you? Okay, Tony Spark messaged Shane, who is in the office today, and asked him to come give me the hand signal to move my ass on to the next story. So that's the world we're living in today. Thank you, Tony Spark, for being on top of it. Apparently, he's not too intoxicated yet to be able to pass those signals along. So work harder, I guess, Tony. Party harder, I mean. Am I the astronaut for ending a 17-plus year friendship, even if it was toxic? Like before, this is a follower submission because it's on the Dusty Thunder subreddit. So, OP, if you happen to be in chat, let me know. Hannah, do we do hoodies? Yes. There are hoodies on dustythunderswag.com. You should check it out. I, 24 female, recently ended a friendship with my best friend, 25 male, of 17 plus years. We've been friends since kindergarten, and I always considered her and her family to be my second family. Growing up, I never thought anything of her controlling tendencies. Even as my other friends started to notice, I always defended her words and actions. It wasn't until I got engaged that I finally realized how toxic my friendship with her was. My bridal party and I were planning my bachelorette trip. She didn't agree with the decision we came to, and immediately she tried to guilt trip me into changing things by using her phobia of social situations and crowds against me, saying, "If you don't change the destination, I absolutely will not be going, and since I'm the maid of honor, it is mandatory that I be there." More of these? Sure. Because of our friendship, I immediately felt bad, but stood my ground because it was my bachelorette party. Eventually, it became so bad I canceled the whole damn thing. No! So she still won? No! No. After that, it became almost impossible to do anything with her. Several people came to me saying that she was spreading rumors and bad-mouthing me, not just to her friends, but mine as well as my family. She almost broke up my marriage. I cut ties after that. And now her sister is stalking my accounts and sending me messages saying that I'm the reason why she is hitting rock bottom because I emotionally drained her and she doesn't know what to do. And her mom is begging me to apologize to her. I would apologize if I had caused her a mental breakdown, but she has been in this mindset/state for years now. I don't know what to do about any of this. Should I apologize and hope it fixes things? Was I wrong for not wanting to be around this anymore? I'm starting to feel like it is my fault. So am I the asshole? Well, we've got two in a row here that are similar situations. No. You created a boundary because after X amount of time of feeling the pain, remember, pain creates change. You experienced enough pain to create this boundary, to create change. You did it for a reason, a damn good reason, and you put up with it for a really, really long time. I think what's happening here is what happens in a lot of occasions, and that is if you let somebody get away with something for long enough and with enough frequency, they just assume that they can get away with it. And whenever they hit that boundary and can't get away with it anymore, they get pissed. They get frustrated because they've been able to do this for so long. What's changed? Why now? Why can't I do this anymore? This is what I know. This is the kind of bullshit that I always do. If I'm not allowed to do this, it's because of a change that you instituted, so you are the problem. Screw that. No. You did it for a reason, and you're not responsible. You are not responsible for her breakdown. I understand that. So the shitty part about all this is that, yeah, it would be great if you could help her get past this and help her get better. And you guys have been friends for a long, long time, right? 17 plus years. But she did enough damage to you so that you had to create the distance. And what now? She's flailing without you because she needs to be your succubus. I don't know. Like she needs somebody to beat up on. She needs somebody to control in order to be mentally stable. That's not healthy. Best friends so hijack the other friend's life, LaDonna says. The friend is actually the ASCOM one. There you go. So we had an NTA. Jasmine says, like, your NTA, because that's toxic AF, but all the info would be great. Katie says, I dumped my bestie fast. Nobody has time for that. Oh, yeah. Like, how did she almost break up their marriage? That would be good. That would be good to know. Leslie asking on keychains would be cool. At least it didn't involve cake, Diamond Peeper said. Yeah. We don't want anybody. We don't have any cake yet. No cake problems yet. If you accept the manipulation, she wins and she recovers immediately. Yeah, Gladys, like you can't give in here. You absolutely cannot give in here. Because you just backslide right back to where you were. But then eventually you're going to hit the same wall, though, because it's going to cause you enough pain to where you put up another wall and then she has another breakdown because she can't control you anymore. And it's just going to be this cycle. She has to get past it. And she has to get past it without controlling you like she's used to doing. She's going to have to accept that she can't do that anymore and learn to live without being someone's puppeteer or succubus or whatever you call it. And yeah, I'm all cake all the time. That's right. I can't imagine, though, growing up with someone only to realize they were using you the entire time. You know what? Unfortunately, I think we see it a lot or don't see it a lot and then see it finally. Even in like grade school kids, I think I don't know if it's that the emotional issues are just starting sooner with kids or if just, you know, we notice it more now because we're more aware of it now, but manipulation and controlling and I don't know if it's called emotional bullying, but friends basically just controlling their friends and calling that friendship and just basically abusing the relationship is way too freaking common. Kennedy's in Australia. I saw James Allenbaugh was in the chat here as well. G'day, James, as well. Protect the cake keychains. That's a damn good idea, too. Adding it to the list. Onesie, beanie, keychains. I'll see what I can do. Emotional vampires. There you go, Christy. My child went through that in middle school. G. Leslie says, that sucks. So, I mean, we've seen one of our kids go through something similar, and it's just... Caroline, member of the storm. Hey, yo, good to see you here. Need a keychain for every set of keys we own. There you go. Protect the cake cupcakes. Chuck, no word on hats yet. We are stuck in a stalemate in negotiations, but we will revisit it at some point here. Michelle, no worries if you missed the story because we actually started taking the recordings from these lives and throwing it up to YouTube after the fact. And that reminds me, I need to change a setting here real quick. There we go. I don't know if that's going to work for right now. It was to record. I'll start recording on the OBS side of things. There we go. Getting my hands on the recording last time because I'm multi-streaming was a different process and it was painful. So I forgot that I needed to change a setting. Dog bandanas. That's a damn good idea. Dog shirts. You know, we could probably do hats on the Dusty Thunder swag site, but we were looking at doing Branded Bills hats and making them like the actual nice performance hats that I love to wear. I really like their performance line of stuff, and that's what we're trying to pull off. But in the meantime, we might be able to host some more basic versions on that swag site. Zoe Howell, yes. The DustyThunderSwag.com does ship to UK. It ships international. Hell yeah, Beer Today jumping in there. Heck yeah. Beer Today, you need, remind me, I need to tag you as an official moderator. Look at, he's already jumping in and answering questions here. Christy, thank you so much for the love. All the way from the UK. Heck yeah. Kat, thank you so much for the rose. Appreciate that. Turtle Terror, couldn't even imagine this type of drama. That'd be a huge pain in the ass. Huge pain in the ass. I mean, I think a lot of people in life have experienced a controlling friend or a friend that abuses the relationship. And it, I mean, if they succeed in being controlling and, you know, gaslighting you in the friendship, then you don't realize it. If they're good at it, you don't realize it for a long, long, long time until something changes where you're able to create enough separation and snap out of it. And it's always an ugly ending. Always. Sometimes you can be civil friends afterwards, but for the most part, you know, once you break free from their control, they hate it. And of course they're going to pitch a fit about it. But she, in this case, your friend here, OP, is either going to find someone else to start controlling, and that's how she gets through this, or she actually gets through this. So if you get close enough for her to latch on to, she will latch on. So distance is the one thing that you have to maintain here. All right. Enjoying this nice Midwest weather. Janie, heck yes. It's going to be 90 degrees Friday. Heck yeah. Natalie, Beer Today needs another podcast. Agreed. We've got to make that happen. I think we've got him on the rotation and scheduled for, can't remember when it is, but we do have him tentatively scheduled to get back into the rotation. All right, we're going to jump into the next story here. This one is from the AITA subreddit, and it is, am I the astronaut for not wanting my fiance to make a birthday cake for his sister because it's my birthday too? Here it is. It's cake. I'll tell you what, give me 30 seconds real quick. I'm going to play some music for you, and I'll be back in 30 seconds. Had to do it. No, Schmutz, I did not have a poop emergency. I was changing my shirt. Thank you, though. Funny shit. And punny. Okay. Once again, this was, am I the astronaut for not wanting my fiance to make a birthday cake for his sister because it's my birthday too? Not my story, but found on Reddit, and know how much you love cake fiascos. Heck yeah. Thank you. Good shit, 30 seconds, Kindle. Everybody's like, oh shit, he's gonna flip out. Dusty's gonna flip right the F out. You don't know that. My 36 fiance, 39, I'll call him Dave for this post, can make really good detailed cakes. It's not a business, but something he enjoys doing. We've been together for 3 years. Dave's sister died close to 10 years ago. Before we met, coincidentally, me and his sister have the same birthday. Every year, Dave makes an extravagant cake and sings happy birthday to his sister. I want to make it clear I don't have a problem with this if it was on any other day. The day before, the day after, whenever. But my family always made a big deal of birthdays, and he knows I enjoy celebrating and having my day. I know some people think you can be too old for birthdays, and that's their opinion, but not mine. So it's my birthday next week. I asked Dave if we could do his sister's celebration on a different day. He said no. He's going to make the cake and do the routine he does every year. I said, I get that, but this is my birthday. And excuse me. I said, I get that, but this is my birthday and I'm actually here right now. And how many more years he's going to do this? He got mad at me and replied that I'm being disrespectful. At that point, I got a bit upset and told him he's not being fair to me. Me and Dave agree on and get along well usually, and this just feels like a bit of a stupid thing to get upset about, but now it's blown up. So, am I the asshole? No. No! Man. Okay, so it's not just a cake story. It's a complicated cake story. There's not an easy solution here. But it's interesting that OP here isn't like, could we celebrate my birthday on a different day? She only says that Dave should celebrate his past sister, her birthday, on a different day. And man, it takes quite a bit of balls to be like, hey, could you not celebrate your deceased sister on my birthday, please? What? Like, I get it, but today's my day, and I'd just rather you not. How does that interfere? I mean, does it interfere with OP's birthday here, though? I mean, you're talking about, he makes the cake, obviously, and I'm sure he makes the cake before that day, and then, you know, the 2 minutes that he sings to her to pay respect to his past sister and to still send out love to her, that's the offensive part for OP here. That kind of seems like a really shitty thing to do, isn't it? What? And yeah, there you go. It's 2 opportunities for cake. I assume you still eat the cake. Okay, I don't know. So there are a couple of comments on here that feel for OP, and while I feel for her, this is one of those things that you just have to respect. You have to respect. So his sister died close to 10 years ago, and it was before they met. That's an important part here, because this routine that he has, this what's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, we'll go with routine. This thing that he had to celebrate her birthday was in place whenever they met. So chances are, when they were in the dating phase, OP knew about this, found out about this, chose to be with him, chose to get engaged to him. They're not married yet, but they are engaged. They've been together for 3 years. So it's not the first time she's seen this. That's something that you accept about someone, and you have to just be okay with. It is disrespectful. It is disrespectful to OP's fiance. I don't think him celebrating his sister on that day is disrespectful to OP. Do we all agree on that? Demon Peepers. Oh, wow. She actually said, but I'm here right now. Ouch. That was AskCon 1 material. Rebel says, yes, it is childish that OP is this upset about her fiance's sister's birthday being celebrated. Turtle Terra, damn, how did a cake story get so complicated? Fudge, tough call. Vern, does he make the girlfriend a cake? Surely, but the fact that that's not stated in here is a little concerning, right? I mean, that could change the tides. If he only celebrates his sister's birthday on that day and not hers, then we've got a different situation. That's not stated in this. But that's a very interesting point. And if that was the case, it would change. It would change. He makes 2 cakes. They eat a slice of Sis's cake, then give it to the fam. The rest of the day is OP's. If that's the case, Anna, awesome. I think that's amazing. And OP shouldn't have an issue with it at all. His sister is a part of who he is. And this routine is a part of who he is. And it's what he's going to do moving forward. Joe with all the cakes. OP's being disrespectful. Is he like spending the whole day celebrating his sister, or like 5 minutes? Sounds like 5 minutes. I mean, plus the amount of time it takes him to make the cake before this event. So Turtle Terror says, going to say a soft, you're the asshole. Dealing with grief is just so different for everyone, but OP does sound a little entitled for expecting OP to get over something he clearly can't get past. Tradition, thank you. Routine, see, all this time I couldn't find the word tradition. That's where I'm at. This is mush today. Mush. Katri is awake. It's almost midnight in Finland. Wow, thank you for joining with us at almost midnight. And I agree. It depends. It depends. I mean, yeah, it can't be the same cake. If that's all he's doing is, celebrating his sister and not his fiance, which surely isn't the case. Surely it's not the case. If he's celebrating both, if he made a cake for both, OP's the asshole here. She's entitled. She's selfish. She needs to get over it and just accept that this is going to be part of her life if she's going to be married to this man, because she accepted him, all of him, and this is part of him. If he is only celebrating his deceased sister on this day, then it's a different situation. So let's talk for a second here and say, let's operate on the assumption that fiance is celebrating both, made a cake for both, and OP is just upset because this thing that she doesn't want to happen on her day is happening. Where would this put her? The ASCON scale, if you have not seen it before, most of you have, is based on the U.S. military's DEFCON scale. So ASCON 1 is the worst. 4 is the least severe, asshole. I remember to say it right this time. ASCON 4 is you could have done it differently. 3 is you should have done it differently. ASCON 2 is you definitely should not have done that. And ASCON 1 is you're a terrible human. So where would we put OP in this situation? Turtle Terror, there are some details. Kim Kendrick, I had to quote you on that to a friend. On the ASCON scale, we got 1s, 2s, 2.5, 1 or 2, 1.5. You guys with your 0.5s. And good to see you from the Philippines. Heck yeah. We got ASCON 2 from Eterna Phoenix there, being jealous of a dead sister. ASCON 1. Oh, okay. Anna has seen the actual post here. 1, because of OP's comments and posts. Oh, hell, let's go look. I've got the link here. Oh, remove. Okay, wait. Okay. Oh, okay. The top comment on here, they made an edit and said, read your replies. You're the asshole, a giant asshole. He still celebrates you. JFC, you are cruel. Okay, so Anna had the rest of the details there. It was there are 2 cakes. They have a slice from both. And it's like just a few minutes that they are celebrating this. So yeah, apparently she's a much bigger asshole than we realized here. Oof. Yeah, okay. It would take too long to go hunt all those down, but apparently that is the case here. Oh. Jasmine, that's a good point. Let's be fully honest. If fiance was only celebrating his sister, they wouldn't be engaged. Entitled asshole. Okay, I think we got an upgrade to ASCON 1 here because of severity of comments. So it is okay. Well, what we hoped would be the case with how fiance was treating this is the case. It is all on OP here. Oof, here we go. We're gonna take a birthday trip right to ASCON 1. We're going to Chuck E. Cheese? No, we're going to ASCON 1. And ASCON 1, they don't come out and sing to you on your birthday or put a sombrero on your head or do anything. You don't even get cake on ASCON 1. I don't know what the opposite of cake is, but you get that. And only that. Man, that's rough. Poor dude here. This one of the closing statements here from her too. This just feels like a bit of a stupid thing to get upset about. Light the candles on that bitch. Probably shouldn't have said that. That's okay. No dirt cake. Cow pie. There we go. On Ask-Com 1, you get cow pies only. No cake, no dirt cake, just cow pies. Pie from the help. There we go. Daddy Danica says, cold McDonald's French fries. Oh, boy. Oh, man. I mean, look, OP, I have strong feelings about cake, too, but sometimes you got to be a little understanding here. And you were still getting the goddamn cake. That's the kicker here. You were still getting your cake. It's like on OP's birthday, the entire world has to stop spinning and shut down, and no one can have any bullshit happen, okay? We aren't celebrating any bad things on my birthday. Nothing bad can happen. For one day only, every year, there will be world effing peace. And my birthday will be the only birthday that is celebrated. And the only cake that is served in the world will be mine. Yeah, that seems like an Ask-Com 1 thing. Oof. Big oof. Do I like mass debating? Perfect puck edits. Getting the loop. Okay. All right, we're going to go and dive into the next one here. This one is a follower submission. This one is called, Am I the Astronaut for telling my partner what his mother did at our baby shower? Oh, no. If she jacked with the cake, I'm going to be pissed. I, 25 female, met my now husband, 31 male, in July of 2019. We got married September 2022. In October 2019, we found out we were pregnant with our baby boy. We jumped around on our dates for a second there, but that's okay. We know what we're doing. They met in July of 2019, got married September 22. In October 2019, they found out they were pregnant with the baby boy. Okay. Mother-in-law never really liked me right from the get-go, and it was made worse by my becoming pregnant. After telling him I was pregnant, I told him I would wait a couple of weeks to tell the rest of my family, but that my parents already knew. The next day, my husband said he wanted to wait until the second trimester before telling anyone on his side. I respected that and agreed. The problem came whenever my husband got drunk. Oh, shit. We lived in a close-knit town with only 3 really good watering holes, all in a 2-block section on Main Street. Me, my husband, and his parents all used to be regulars at said watering holes and are well known in the community. My husband refused to tell his parents I was pregnant, but would go to the bar and get drunk and tell the entire bar I was pregnant. Well, good job keeping a secret there, brozo. Of course, here's the funny part. He was the one that said he wanted to wait until second trimester. That was his idea. Of course, this eventually got back to his mother, who was drunk when she found out. She blamed me and told me that I had baby trapped him since we had only known each other a few months. I brushed it off since she was drunk, and she did find out in a messed up way. Months later, we found out it was a boy and held a baby shower in May of 2020. Because it was at the height of COVID, we had to drive-by baby shower. We set up a canopy so I could sit and relax whenever possible. Then we moved to the cars so the front of the house was open and people could come drive by and give us gifts. And, yeah, mother-in-law sounds like a little bit of a lush here, huh? It quickly went from a very civil get-together with family and friends dropping off gifts to a drunken tailgate. My family was trying to keep it short and sweet while mother-in-law was offering their family and friends drinks and getting applications. We both chose to ignore mother-in-law's antics and move on. Once people stopped driving by, we were cleaning up and taking things inside. At one point, I noticed my mother-in-law talking to my mother in the side yard, but didn't think much of it until right before my folks left. My mom was clearly agitated, but didn't want to stress me out while I still had guests. Later that night, my mom called me and told me that my mother-in-law had cornered her right after the party and was really rude. She told my mother that I was the dirt on the bottom of her son's shoes and that she was going to be raising my child because none of us were fit to raise a child. Oh, yeah, clearly she is. Clearly. She claimed I had baby trapped him and that she's going to get a paternity test. She also told my mom that she would be lucky to even meet the baby if it turns out to actually be my husband's baby. I was extremely upset and sat crying in mine and my husband's room when he found me. A couple days later, he confronted her and yelled at her. I don't know what was said, just that she denied it. In the months following, we had a lot of friends and family that were all back up my mother's story. His sister and father think that I should have kept my mouth shut and not told my husband, claiming I was trying to isolate him from his family. I don't think I did anything wrong, but who knows? Am I the asshole? If you like this one, I've got more for you. Damn, what? What kind of soap opera are you living here, OP? Holy shit balls. Yeah, clearly mother-in-law is well equipped. So whenever she cornered your mom in the side yard, well, she said that you're the dirt on the bottom of her. Okay, I've got to try to get this tone right. I'm gonna tell you something, okay? Your daughter is the dirt on the bottom of my son's shoes. I think she baby trapped my boy, and I'm gonna get a paternity test. And no one here is more well equipped to raise him than me. Yeah. You'd be lucky to meet the baby if it turns out to be his. Yes, trust that woman with your child. Dear God. Every instance that we hear of mother-in-law in this story, it is mother-in-law drunk, mother-in-law drunk, mother-in-law drunk, mother-in-law drunk. Mother-in-law, you will be lucky to ever get to see the grandchild or spend time with the grandchild. Holy shit. Like, I don't understand how this doesn't register with people. Blood alcohol test on mother-in-law while she's getting a paternity test for daughter-in-law. Yeah. Okay. Mother-in-law, we're going to need you to participate in this paternity test. I didn't know that police officers gave paternity tests. Well, today we do. And what we're going to need you to do for this paternity test is walk down this line right here, just one foot right in front of the other, while holding your arms out straight and touching your nose with alternating fingers here, okay? I mean, okay. Paternity tests have changed. That could be fun. You could really mess with her. Yeah, supervised visits only. Yeah, at one of the 3 watering holes in town. Good gravy. This is a great communication with the husband, and he deserves to know. Yeah. I mean, I need to go back and see here because who was pissed off at him for letting her husband know? His sister and father think I should have kept my mouth shut and not told my husband. Well, of course, they have to deal with mother-in-law who's pissed and drunk a lot. So, of course, they're like, hey, you rocked the boat and made her angrier, which we now have to deal with. Please don't do that. I wouldn't expect anything else from them because they're the ones who have to deal with him. Sorry, I keep slamming stuff and shaking the camera here. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I meant to go back and check that earlier because I read it, but it didn't register with me who was mad. They have to deal with her. Anybody who has to deal with a problem person like this in proximity is more than likely going to take their side, but not really take their side. They're just protecting their self-interest because they don't want to deal with their bullshit. And if you increase their bullshit, they get punished for it. So expect nothing different from them. At some point here, OP, which if you are in chat, I hope you are. At some point here, OP, you're going to have to convince hubby to go no contact with his mom, which is going to be tough because it's his mom. But if she only causes pain and drama and trauma, just the fact that she by blood is his mom isn't enough to be able to be in your child's life. And that's where the turning point is. If her being involved in your child's life is a detriment to your child's life, then she doesn't get to be there. OP, in this case, hell no. Hell no. Ashley says mother-in-law's ask on one. Turtle Terror mother-in-law sounds horrible. Massive NTA. I don't like to encourage going no contact, but this is a prime example of why one should. Sounds like mother-in-law is an alcoholic, should stay away from the kids. Hell yeah, Rebel, my eye is twitching on behalf of the OP. Yes, yeah, and let's go ahead and send mother-in-law straight to the paternity test store, which can only be found on AskCon 1. She'll be forced to walk around that ring in a straight line several times, just until she passes out. And then wakes up and wonder where her drink went. Oof. A couple of quick notes here. And again, just to reiterate, the Candy Thunder podcast, part 1 and 2 is now out on YouTube and Spotify and everywhere else that does podcast audio channels. We are filming another one this weekend with a new guest who you have not met yet. The sticker packs are available at dusty-thunder.com, and I'm showing off some of those stickers on my cup here. It's my first time using it. Very cool. Very clangy because of my giant ice cubes in there. And this shirt right here, plus a whole lot more designs, is on DustyThunderSwag.com. I actually ordered a shirt, one of the Dusty Thunder logo, the smaller front logo, and it has the full Ascon scale on the back. And the printing on the front part showed up a little wonky. So we're chatting with Spring about getting that corrected and about making sure that no one else receives a product like that. If you do receive something where it's like doubled up and the printing registering is way off, then be sure to reach out to support at Spring. They've been very responsive so far and are getting with their production team. So we definitely don't want you to have to deal with anything like that. And their support seems to be really good so far. So I have a feeling that they will be very amicable about replacing things. And Thunder and Spark films next week. Thunder and Spark podcast films next week. Words are hard. Zelina, thank you so much for the heart. Appreciate that. Jasmine for the rose. Appreciate that. Is that a sheath cake? What? Crash Cart, thank you so much for the, what is that little, is it a cat or a dog? For the little puppy or kitty with the headphones on there. Lil Red, thank you so much for the cake. Appreciate that. Sue Souza, thank you so much for the rose. And Olivia, thank you so much for the lightning bolt. Appreciate that. Jasmine for the cake. Thank you so much. Rebel, my eye is twitching too. I'm all twitched up here. He was probably doing that anyway, but not just on behalf of OP, just in general. Lou Miner, thank you so much for loving the content. Appreciate that. Christina, thank you for the rose. Velma, thank you for the rose. Appreciate that. Eternal Phoenix Cats, thank you. The chat window that I have makes those icons very, very small, so it's hard to see. Somebody's audio just dropped out too. What is going on? I don't understand. Yeah. Hopefully it's going okay for everybody else. We're going to push forward and hope that it's an isolated issue there. Now we have another follower submission. Here we go. OP, if you're in chat and want to claim your story, have at it. This one is, am I the astronaut for canceling my wedding last year? Oh, shit. No wedding, no cake. Make me sad. I would like to start with my husband and I have been together since 2013 with a break. Within that break, I had gotten pregnant with my son, who is now 6. No, we did not say we were taking a break at the time. It was an actual breakup because I was dealing with the loss of my father and was not in the right headspace. Now my son knows my husband as dad and the only one he has ever known as dad. I am the kind of person that will cave and do what someone says to avoid arguments. Back in April of 22, we decided we wanted to get married and originally wanted to just go to the courthouse, but I wanted my mother there. If she was there, I figured we'd have to invite mother-in-law too. This is where I went wrong. In preparations for the wedding, I asked mother-in-law if we could use her backyard for a small 10 to 15 people ceremony. Did not ask for money, help, or anything else. I just wanted a wooden arch, which was created by roadside items, so no money besides screws that were needed. And we even decided to just make it a cookout and have hamburgers and hot dogs and make it simple and save money. She did not like this idea. It ended up going from 10 to 15 people to 64 people. Mainly his family, since his father, deceased, was one of 13. Holy crap. She did all of the inviting. Then she said, we can't have a wedding with hamburgers and hot dogs. And she said we needed to have chicken, brisket, and whatever else. 2 days before the wedding, my husband received a call from his mom, and that's when everything went downhill. Oh, wait, it hadn't already? Okay. She called because he needed to be there to set up the tents for 2 days from then. It was supposed to storm, and I already relayed that my family was going to come help the night before with the setup. I couldn't bite my tongue any longer and told her he doesn't need to be there to set up when my family was going to help the next day. In the heat of the moment, arguments began, and I did not know what was said, but my husband came home yelling at me for opening my mouth. Eventually, he just said, "Why don't we use my hormones from our newly found pregnancy?" Wait, what? Why don't we use my hormones from our newly found pregnancy? 7 weeks at this point. I said, fine. We went over and I walked in and asked her to come over to the next house where her parents live because we were going to talk it out and tell them about the pregnancy. We were going to announce it at the wedding, and even then, we still were in the beginning and could have lost her. She started yelling at me, and I told her, okay, fine, I'm leaving. She followed me outside between both houses and began to say that it is only her and her 2 sons, and that's it. She doesn't care about anyone else. So my mouth blurted, "So you don't care about your unborn grandchild?" She claimed she was putting all this money out and she didn't have it and was buying all this food. No one asked her to, and my mom offered to buy food as well, but it wasn't bought quick enough, and mother-in-law ended up getting what my mom agreed to buy. I loudly said, "No one asked you to," and all I wanted was an arch and hamburgers and hot dogs, and that's it. Then walked next door to talk to my husband's grandparents. When I went into their house, I wanted to apologize if they felt like they were being attacked. It had nothing to do with them, and I was just tired of her trying to control a wedding that was not hers. My husband's grandfather accepted my apology, but his grandmother said I was a self-centered, manipulative bee. I started to cry and left. Husband was still outside with his mom. We argued more, and I walked to the car. The day came where we decided to go to a friend's house to go swimming. Wait a second, we just jumped like way ahead. The day came, okay, and we decided to go to a friend's house to go swimming. They decided to cook all the food that was bought, including what food my mom bought with no reimbursement. Arguments between my husband and I continued over the next week. He made a comment about framing the marriage license to remember the day that I was the a-hole, and I told him to hand it to me and ripped it in half. My mom stated that she would understand if we just did the courthouse, and we did similar. Our state apparently now gives you the option to self-unify, so on December 3rd, we walked next door to our friends of 15 plus years and we signed our names on a new license. Mother-in-law had nothing to do with my baby shower except to bring one food item, and we now have a 3-month-old little girl. Am I the asshole for canceling the wedding? Misty Fox, good to see you there. Turtle Terror, good cake. More cake. What? More unnecessary wedding drama. Well, there's so much going on here, OP, and this is a follower submission again. So OP, if you're here, holy crap. Yeah, I got lost and I was reading it. There's just so much going on. Okay. Mother-in-law obviously didn't just attempt, like fully succeeded in hijacking this wedding. And maybe it was so that it would implode. If that was her plan to make sure that you didn't have a wedding, then she succeeded. She won, but she hijacked it for sure. And not creating that boundary and just letting it happen in the beginning is probably the first real big misstep. It doesn't matter if she didn't like the idea of what you wanted to do in the first place. It's your effing wedding. You get to make that decision. It is not your mother-in-law's wedding. I'm curious, the grandparents that you talk to, I'm assuming, are her parents. If mother-in-law, if your fiance's grandma didn't accept your apology and called you a self-centered manipulative bee, I'm guessing that's his mom's mom, which would make sense. Maybe not. Maybe that was dad's mom. There's a lot going on here. So the wedding day was scrapped because I'm guessing we don't really hear how like when the decision was made to scrap this whole wedding. They were talking about tent setup, and then that's when things started blowing up. She started yelling at me, and I told her, okay, fine, I'm leaving. She followed me outside between both houses, and okay, so that's where that blew up. The husband's grandparents, we just don't know if it was dad's mom or mom's mom. Woof. Yeah, I'm really surprised at this wedding, or that you guys got married, period. And not just because of mother-in-law's meddling here, but it sounds like now hubby has some issues as well that aren't resolved. And you got some big unresolved things going on here that are potentially toxic and problematic for your ongoing relationship here that really need to be resolved before like signing that document and saying forever, stamping it. And at this point you have 2 kids, right? So wow, this is this is complicated. I don't know how possible it is to have no contact with his mom. It sounds like they're going to be involved here no matter what by choice from him, but he's going to have to create some boundaries here. Mother-in-law's obviously not going to respect your boundaries, but he's going to have to support your boundaries and create some of his own so that she doesn't come in and completely destroy your relationship. It may not even take that because it seems like he has unresolved issues at this point too, but I'm sure she's stoking that fire and not helping at all. Turtle Terra, just wow though. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Chunky Chick, hello there. It's good to see you joining up with us here. OP is in the house. Okay. We're getting the OP. We're getting the OP is here. Scrolling up to try to find. Still scrolling. Anna. Is it Anna? Here we go. Samantha. Grandparents are her parents. Okay, Samantha. Holy crap. Yeah, Samantha, you got a really complicated situation going on here. Her parent, that makes a lot more sense. Like I wouldn't expect her mother to disagree with her. So grain of salt. I wouldn't even look at that as grandma's real opinion. It's just a proxy of mother-in-law's opinion there. I am curious at this point though. Are the issues that hubby had directly and as pissed off as he was, are those resolved? Like, are you guys in a good space as a couple moving forward? Are the only issues with mother-in-law, or do you still have some unresolved turmoil there as well? And while we wait on Samantha's response here, Turtle Terra saying, makes me feel lucky enough to have the best in-laws in the world. Feel so bad for OP. Agreed. We are fine. Definitely keep our distance with mother-in-law. Thank goodness. My gosh. Brother-in-law and sister-in-law have gone no contact with her. There you go. The first dominoes have fallen then. And that's great. And the grandparents that are her parents obviously are going to be a proxy of that as well. Maybe not granddad, but granddad is married to grandma. So, and grandma's opinion is a proxy of mom. So they're going to end up, unless granddad is ballsy enough to go against his wife so that he can have a relationship with you guys. It's possible. Not likely, but possible. But damn. Yeah, definitely staying away from that lady, who, if she's willing to hijack your wedding day, will hijack everything else and not respect your boundaries at all. And it sounds like, she thought she could get away with it in the beginning because you said it yourself. You're the kind of person who will just cave in to avoid drama. But now you've got a person who knows that and will try to strong arm you into anything. And now you've got to have like firm, hard ass boundaries with her. Good gravy. Sarah and Waffles is here. Heck yeah, we showed off your astronaut just a little bit ago, and it looks so dang good up there. So Samantha, yeah, you've got a lot of love heading your way from chat here. That's a really rough situation. I am really sorry that you had to go through that. Thank goodness that you're in a good spot with hubby now, and you guys have a 3-month-old little girl, which is awesome. Congratulations. So your other kid is how old now? Scrolling back up. 6. You've got a 6-year-old and a 3-month-old. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Those are going to be good ages. He's going to be very protective of his little sister, which is super cool. You're going to have to be very careful though, as you go through life with your kids. If you allow kids to have any time with mother-in-law, she is going to take advantage of that. Most likely, she may not be that terrible of a human, but I'm guessing that she is, and she's going to plant seeds of poison drama in them that will come back and that will start causing problems within your family with them. So are you letting the kids hang out with them, Samantha? Does she get to see the kids, or is the no contact full on no contact, no contact with you guys or your kids? Tracy, good to see you. Wally, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Sarah and Waffles, heck yeah. My son does not like going there and he won't tell me why. Oh, shit. And he's 6? That's a terrible sign. Don't let him go there. You have no legal obligation to send him there. And if he doesn't like going there, there is a reason. And the fact that he won't tell you why is an even bigger red flag. Holy crap. Yeah, I think that no contact has to be extended to the kids as well. And she's going to pitch a huge fit about that. Just be ready for it. But if your 6-year-old kid said he doesn't like going there and won't tell you why, that's enough. That's enough to be like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Artist, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Oof. Helene, yeah, Samantha was on the TikTok live side of things. Blue is the one live for a week that you actually get to interact with. Whoa. She's going to be the mother-in-law that cuts the baby's hair without asking. Jennifer says, oh, no. No. Oh, gosh. I mean, there are a million different scary possibilities that this can get into. The safest route is to just avoid them all. Avoid every single one of them. And Emmy Lou's got a comment for you here as well. Okay. Samantha says, I'm a stay-at-home mom now, so less chance of her being alone with either one. Angie Alvarez, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate that. Yeah, you've got some words of wisdom coming from some other members of the Storm in chat here that I think you should definitely take a look at, relating to their past experiences. So I think it would be a damn good idea to take that super seriously and get your husband on board with avoiding them being around her, period, because there's a lot of risk involved. Helene, I agree. And one of the things we've talked about is on the Sunday, Monday, kind of going back to the way that we used to have it, or maybe doing an initial one that's just the YouTube side of things too, because we have such a small community there, which works out really well. And I really do enjoy that group. So we may look at adding on an additional one so that we have the small group there too. Thank you so much for sharing the live Lady Trauma. I appreciate that. Ethan saying, I'd say go full no contact in this case. There's a reason the son doesn't like being there. Agreed. There's something is going on, and this scares the shit out of me. And there's a lot of wisdom being shared with you, Samantha, that I think would be worth heeding the advice on. Amy has a good point here, and it's one of the things that I was thinking as well. A kid needs to see a therapist to find out why he doesn't like going there. He's got to open up to somebody and explain it. Oof. All right. Get rehydrated here before we dive into the next one. Lots of shares of the stream going on right now. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate that. Thank you. Speaking of shares, as you go through and see the daily posts, whether that's on TikTok or YouTube, wherever you like to enjoy the content the most, if you could do us a favor and share those as you like a video as well, as it's something you that you see and think some people may enjoy, please help share that direction too. The algorithm changes that we've seen get us in front of less people, but it's like a more core group. So, I mean, the interaction that we've seen has been very, very steady and very stable. And it's like we get in front of the people who want to see the content and who actually like and engage with it, which is great. I wouldn't change a thing about it now. But growing and getting in front of more people now is just more difficult because of those algorithm changes. So we're in a really good spot, and I would much rather grow with your guys' help, sharing with other people who you think would really enjoy the content rather than trying to experiment with different things to get in front of new people. So if you can help us out that direction, it would mean the world to us. Spunky Diva, kiddo not wanting to go to grandma's, super scary, right? I mean, grandma's is supposed to be the place where it's like on Bluey. It's like, yay, TV and popsicles. The only rule is that there are no rules. That's like fun zone. Okay, this next story here is from the AITA subreddit, and it is, I just didn't enunciate that well, from the AITA subreddit. And this is, am I the astronaut for thinking my boyfriend's best friend's behavior is not acceptable? Oh boy. Oh no. My boyfriend has known his best friend, Lisa. That's why I said, oh no. For the past 10 to 15 years. They went to school together and work for the same company. Lisa got married very young, and she and her husband have a very strange relationship. I will explain why below, and I completely understand that is none of my business. When my boyfriend got an opportunity to move to a new country for work, Lisa requested a transfer to do the same country and relocated with him, leaving her husband behind. All right, we're just going to go ahead and get that one rocking right here. Oh, look, frozen flags. I was going to freeze with them. Couldn't pull it off in time. After a couple of years, my boyfriend decided to move back to his home country, and Lisa requested to transfer again to move back. Well, we'll just move these red flags back right along with them there, tell you what. A few months later, Lisa became pregnant, but her husband had to move to a different country, X. Lisa's company was flexible, so she could work from any country or choose to work remotely. She decided not to move to country X. A couple of years later, my boyfriend moved to country X for work, and Lisa immediately requested a transfer and moved there too. Wow, this is not looking nefarious at all. A few months later, Lisa's husband got a new project to move to a new country, but Lisa and her child decided to stay in country X. I find it a bit strange that she only moved cities and countries when my boyfriend did, not when her husband did. I understand that people have different depths of friendship. I completely trust my boyfriend, and I know that he would never have any romantic feelings towards her. My boyfriend mentioned that Lisa had a massive crush on him in school, but that was a long time ago. Oh yeah, sure, it was a long time ago. Nothing to worry about at all. Clearly. Come on, OP. Lisa usually calls my boyfriend first in case of an emergency instead of her spouse. This was the situation even when she lived with her husband. Yeah, nothing to worry about at all. It's totally fine. It's okay. Yeah, nothing going on here. A few months ago, Lisa and her child had to move out of country X for some personal reasons and had to move in with her husband. The issue started when Lisa and her kids, not her husband, showed up unannounced at our apartment to surprise my boyfriend. I'm not happy with her acting entitled and showing up at our apartment to stay for a week. She has pulled a few more stunts like these in the past. Am I the asshole for thinking that this is not acceptable behavior? I thought there was going to be a lot more to this. Yeah. Jasmine says, paternity test. All right, ma'am, we're going to need you to step on this line. We're going to need you to walk one foot in front of the other. All the way from country X to country Y. No, this is not acceptable behavior, but the problem is, I think that OP is saying here, like, the showing up at the house is not acceptable behavior. What about all the other shit? What about everything else, OP? And I know you say that you trust your boyfriend here, but you're not married, and that does make a difference here. I mean, it shouldn't, but I either she's infatuated with him, obsessed with him, and even if he didn't have relations with her, it could be his child, because there are ways to do that. That's why Drake has Tabasco sauce, right? I went there. It happened. I mean, it could be an intense level of maniacal craziness here. It really could be. I'm not saying that he's being unfaithful, but all the signs point to that direction. I know she's the one following him around like a lost puppy dog, but there's a reason. There's a reason that she's doing that, and you've got to figure out what it is. Something's up here. Something is definitely up. Thoughts here? Thoughts? This is a mess, Kendall says. Can we spell stalker, Libby? Yeah. Tony Sparks says, why? Oh, man. Kick them out and get a test. You don't have a relationship like that. Okay, but Jasmine says, but there has to be something because the boyfriend even acknowledges her feelings. He said that she used to have a big crush on him. He doesn't say anything about this now. Mucklepuff, when was this child conceived? Good question. So she doesn't get into pinpointing when all this happened, but let me backtrack a little bit. Got married very young, and she and her husband have a very strange relationship. A few months. Okay, here we go. After a couple of years, my boyfriend decided to move back to his home country, and Lisa requested a transfer again to move back. A few months later, Lisa became pregnant, but her husband had to move to a different country. Okay, so she was around them both whenever she conceived, apparently. This is very complicated, and I would be very uncomfortable in this conversation or in this situation. And I'd be like, look, I know that you say that that nothing is going on here, but there's something going on. Someone wouldn't be following you around like a lost puppy dog from country to country, dragging their child away from their spouse if there was nothing going on. Something's up here. And I would be uncomfortable enough to, at this point, it's her boyfriend. I'd be like, okay, you know what? I love you, and we've had a really good run, but this shit is whack. And I really don't want to end up on an episode of Jerry Springer, so I'm like a dog on a leash here with this headphone cord. It just pulls me right back and chokes me out. The whole giant bag of crazy, E. Holland said. Why isn't the husband's friend saying anything? Why isn't the friend's husband saying anything? Demon Peepers says. Yeah, that's a good question. Natalie says, honeymoon phase, she's not seeing everything that's going on. Rose-tinted glasses, I could definitely see that. Jenix says, I'm just going to say that's how my niece's older sister was conceived, with her dad's crazy ex. Oh, Danielle. Yeah. Can't really end up on Springer no more. Sorry about that. Yeah, we don't hear anything from the husband side here, but it would be interesting for OP to have a conversation with the friend's husband and be like, hey, is this strange at all to you? Or does this seem normal? How do you feel about your wife following my boyfriend from country to country and taking y'all's child with her? You know, nothing seems off about that at all. Okay. All right. No, he's got to be looking at this and saying and scratching his head too. And he's probably like, well, you know, his girlfriend hasn't called me to talk about anything, so she must think it's okay. How many years was this going on? I mean, country to country to country to country. It's got to be. They've known each other for 10 to 15 years. After a couple of years, my boyfriend decided to move back to his home country. Lisa requested a transfer. So, a few months later, Lisa became pregnant. A few months later, Lisa's husband got a new project. A few months later, there's like 3 or 4 a few months laters in here. So, and before that, it was a couple of years had gone by. So you're looking at like 3 to 4 years. I wouldn't be comfortable with this. Who would stay in a relationship like this? And at minimum, putting myself in OP's shoes here, I'd be like, bro, you need to create a boundary with this friend of yours because she's giving stalker. And create a boundary that this shit ends. Or you say goodbye to me. And also, you're going to have a really hard time finding anyone who would accept this kind of behavior and not think that something's going on. Who do the kids look like? Demon Peeper says. That's a good question. I agree, Chunky Chick. Here in the husband side would be really interesting. Oh, E. Holland makes a good point here. So after 3 to 4 years, why aren't they married yet? Well, he hasn't had the time because he's been jumping from country to country, and he can't get far enough away from his friend for him to actually go ring shopping. So that's why. Stalker vibes. How do we get back to cake, Emilu? I want cake so bad. Thank you so much for the rose, Emilu. Appreciate that. Thank you. 3 roses. Keep them coming. There you go. Is there actually a husband? Ooh, we don't know. We really don't know. But this is scary. And this is also one of those things where, okay, if it got to the point where boyfriend here decided he was going to propose or get more serious with OP, what would his friend's reaction be? Depending on how stalkerish she is, she may take action here to try to put a stop to that. Math ain't mathin' when Cosby. Yeah, I agree with that. The math ain't mathin'. An update to this would be amazing. We have the link. It's from the AITA subreddit, so we'll keep our eye on it. And Tony Spark, we actually don't have the link in the doc for that one. If you can paste the link in there, we'll put it with the YouTube video that we put up, so you guys can go grab links from that and follow along if there are updates for this. Cake Dusty, you asked for it. Oi. Okay. Let's bounce over to the next one here. This one is a follower submission. Another follower submission, OP. If you're in chat and want to raise your hand, your call. Totally up to you. Totally up to you. Totally up to you. How do we submit a story? Miss D1120 says you can submit at either dusty-thunder.com. We've built that site and has a button right on the homepage in the heroes section that you can hit, and it will take you to the story submission page. Or you can submit your story if you're a Reddit user on the Dusty Thunder subreddit. Oh, Crash Cart Running says, who wants cake? Okay. I'm down. Yeah. And that's that dirt cake recipe that was posted in the VIP group. I had to post the Will Smith like, damn. That meme. Because damn. Looks good. Sounds good. I'm down for some cake. We are celebrating birthdays for 2 of our girls this weekend, so we'll be enjoying some cake. I'm ready. Shaner, you can do the perfect SpongeBob. I'm ready. Can you come over and do that, please? Just okay. Shane again is the motion graphics god around here that built that awesome intro animation, and. His birthday was yesterday, so happy birthday yesterday again. But he does this amazing SpongeBob voice. We got to hear it here.
Oh. Okay. I'm ready. Ah!
It's freaking epic, dude. That's killer. It's so damn good. He's got a bunch of voices that he just nails. He's just got really, really good versions of. Got some great characters. Oh, man. What kind of cake for the kiddos? Candy Thunder, if you were still on chat here, she ordered some she ordered some cake. Is that the word I'm looking for? She's got some custom cakes that she's ordered. I don't know what the flavors are. I didn't even ask. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not dirt cake, but that's okay. I have to wait till my birthday for dirt cake, but it's going to be amazing. I'm just sure of it. Candy Thunder, if you're in chat and can let us know what the flavor of the cakes are going to be on the parties this weekend. Inquiring minds want to know. I'm not cake shy. I'll try anything. There you go. The flavor is called amazing, Candy Thunder says. I like that kind of cake. I like amazing cake. The Amazing Cake. There's our show. It's a reality show like The Amazing Race, but it's called The Amazing Cake, and it's not a baking contest. It's like an exploration of eating cake. I'll handle that. My birthday is February 10th, LC Lore. I already passed it, but I did have some damn good dirt cake on my birthday. The vanilla cakes. Yeah, interesting note. Vanilla is one of the few flavors that Candy Thunder can still enjoy post COVID taking away her smell and taste, or completely cross wiring everything. So yeah, there for a long time, like really nasty things smelled good and good things smelled bad, and then everything just kind of settled into she knows the few things that she can take. I am an Aquarius. Jarby. Age of Aquarius. Or no, we won't do that one. Okay, we'll dive into another follower submission here. This one is, am I the astronaut for leaving my boyfriend? I, 51 female, and my boyfriend, 53, live in the same northeastern state and have been dating for roughly 2 years. One night while we were listening to music in the car, he mentioned to me that he'd never seen and would like to see a specific musician. His birthday was coming up, and I thought buying tickets to the concert was the ideal gift. Later, I looked up the artist to see where he was performing, only to find out that he was performing in one more show in the U.S. before leaving to perform in other countries. I asked my boyfriend ahead of time if we could go away for his birthday and if he'd request the days off work in advance. I wanted to make sure the time was approved before buying the plane tickets, concert ticket, hotel, etc. He did. It was approved. And when his birthday came around, I surprised him with a 6-day, 5-night paid vacation to Las Vegas, Nevada to go see the artist he'd been wanting to see. Damn! That's awesome. That's a hell of a gift. Also, yeah, damn. The majority of the trip was good, except for the fact that he was constantly texting/talking to his ex-wife. Dude. Why? Why for? He let her know our plane itinerary, the hotel reservations, and even the events I took him to see. My boyfriend and his ex-wife divorced on good terms, apparently, and have remained friends. I have met her and we get along fine. She lives with her boyfriend of 5 years in a state 4,000 miles away. I respect their friendship. However, the constant communication and attention he gave to her and not me put me over the edge. I kept on dropping hints to him regarding the communication. However, he looked at me as though I was speaking a foreign language. Before we left to return back home, he contacted his ex, asked her to check him in for his flight, his luggage, and informed her when we departed and during the layover. My blood was boiling and I kept my mouth shut until we were about to land. Before the wheels of the plane hit the ground, he turned on his phone and texted his wife. I blew my top. I asked him if I could just have 1 minute of his time where he'd focus on me, his girlfriend, and not his ex-wife. He said his ex has anxiety and he texted her to help her with her condition. I was now looking at him like he was an alien. Like, are you for real? I went out of the way to make this trip happen, and his attention was on his ex and her anxiety. I asked him if he wanted a future with her or with me, and if it was with me, this kind of shit doesn't fly well with me. Pun intended, because you were on a plane. But okay. It was a long and quiet trip back home. Not a peep during our 2-hour drive. Once we arrived at his house, I gave him his luggage and told him I was leaving to go back home. He asked me why, and I replied back, Until you figure out where you effed up, don't call me. Am I the asshole? Oh, Turtle Terra Angel Food Cake is my second favorite. It's got to have the glaze, though. That glaze icing, oh, c'est magnifique. Butterfinger cake, Genix? Damn, that sounds good. Okay. Oh, this cake dog. She did great. OP did a fantastic job here. OP, are you in chat? By the way, this was a follower submission, right? Wait, was it? Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Yeah. Follower submission here. OP, if you are in chat, you have all the respect from chat here and from me. Oh, tres leches. Cherry Dr. Pepper cake? Damn. Y'all are going to see like drool just like start coming out of my mouth here. Like, ah. Well done by OP. OP, I wish you were in chat now so we could all give you just a freaking round of applause. This is a damn good job. And also, I don't know if this is an age thing or an experience thing or what, but OP has boundaries. And in this case, stuck to him and was like, look, I'm not going to deal with this shit. Like, she knows what she will and won't put up with, and drew that boundary. And her boyfriend, 53, who apparently doesn't get it, is still treating his ex like it's his functional wife, not with the love part, not with the, the romantic part, but communication wise and friendship wise, he's still treating his ex like it's his wife, even asking her to check him in on shit. Like, that's, bro, you're not married anymore. And it's disrespectful to her significant other, your ex's significant other, but it's also respectful to your significant other. You've got to figure that out, man. Like, it's the fact that he doesn't understand this is a huge red flag for him as a person. And it kind of sounds like he's dependent on her. I think we can say that. He's dependent on her. So OP, I guess the question is, are you willing to become the person that he becomes dependent on? Because if this is a dependency thing where he needs to communicate with someone to have them like help facilitate his life, I mean, I wouldn't get through a single day without Candy Thunder helping me with logistics and organizing things because I'm just a mess of a person. But like he's using her like that still, and she allows it to happen, and it may feel good for her, like that she may either enjoy the attention or still enjoy the friendship, whatever it is. That's a spousal thing. That is not an ex thing. Like, there has to be boundaries for that friendship with an ex. There just has to be. I'm surprised that her significant other hasn't bucked against this yet. Maybe he has, and we just haven't heard that because it hasn't gotten to the point where he speaks up about it to her, to the point where she speaks up about it to OP's boyfriend here. But props to you, OP, for the boundaries. Angel Arsenic says it's codependency. He got used to it during the marriage and can't pull away now. Yes, that's. But if OP is not willing to have that eye of Sauron shift over. Wait a second. Do we know? I'm calendar organized. Yes, Candy Thunder. Thank you. Is OP in chat here? I thought somebody was asking a question. The sirens were paid actors. Perfect timing. There you go. Oh, man. Codependency isn't good. I mean, there's a balance in relationships, right? And if you find a significant other that can help kind of complete you and help you make you more productive and help make life easier for you, fantastic. That's great. But once that marriage is over, the relationship is over, it's not a friendship codependency. Like, that's inappropriate, I feel like. Yeah, the Eye of Sauron. I use that a lot. Oy vey. Oh, Nikki Hughes showing up late to the party here. It's okay because the streams, the Wednesday streams get posted to YouTube either late tonight or tomorrow, so it'll be good. Turtle Terror says, I've got the munchies now. Elaine says, is it the 420 ending? Turtle Terror 420. Hey, yo. Legal in Missouri. She's doing stuff for him. Yes, witchy woman. That's a red flag for me on his excuse of her having anxiety. Bearded Hay responding to spammers in chat. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, props to OP here. I think not an asshole at all. Mad respect for standing up for yourself and having those boundaries and knowing what you will and won't put up with. I think you do need to be aware though that if you break his codependence on his ex-wife, it's going to go somewhere. It's like a symbiote, right? It's going to latch on to the closest person to him. So if you're willing to let that latch on to you and have him be codependent on you, cool. But recognize that this is an issue for him in general. It's probably less about it being his ex-wife to him and more about it being someone. So if you're willing to take that on and have the conversation with him and redirect it then great. I don't know if you want that though. Derek, cake. He needs a teat. There you go. Hey, Emily Paxton actually made it to live. Oh, you live in Korea? Wow. So this usually happens while I'm at work trying to teach children. Well, what? I'm glad that you're here. Heck yeah. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Sounds like he needs therapy. I would agree with that. To become not to break the codependence. Yeah. But I think the first step here is, is OP willing to take that on in order to divert it away from his ex-wife? Because if she is, and if he's willing to divert that, he probably doesn't even know this is happening, right? Like he doesn't realize that he's codependent. He doesn't realize that the eye of Sauron from him is upon his ex-wife and that he can divert it. It would take like an intervention to just divert it and then therapy to get rid of it. But my goodness. Elizabeth, I think we have a couple other stories here. Oh my God, it's a cake story. Get ready. Get ready. Okay. This one is from the AITA subreddit, and it is, am I the asshole for refusing to eat a smash cake? Yesterday was my nephew's first birthday, and my sister and brother-in-law had a little get-together at their house. When it was time for cake, they brought out my nephew's smash cake. Exactly what it sounds like. A cake for the baby to smash up and get icing all over themselves for cute pictures or whatever. I kind of imagined that it would be the size of a big cupcake, but they brought out a regular-sized round birthday cake. I just kind of figured they splurged and still expected the cake to be just for him to play around with. But after my nephew had gone at this cake with his bare hands and stuck his whole face in it, my sister started scooping up the mangled remains and distributing servings to everyone. Just a handful of family members, and everyone else was actually eating it. I declined because, seriously? I didn't want to eat something that has had baby's grubby hands and body all over it, and I was surprised that anyone else did. My sister insisted I take a portion, and I said, really, no, that's gross. Now, I probably wouldn't have used the word gross if it wasn't on the spot, but I was not at all prepared to have to politely decline eating baby spit. My sister was very hurt by that and told me later on a phone call that I thought was way longer than it needed to be for the severity of the infraction, that she thought I was being extremely judgmental, that it wasn't a big deal. We're all family. Don't participate if I really don't want to, but don't call her gross, etc. Okay. Okay. So am I the asshole for refusing to eat a smash cake? I've never heard of somebody serving up a smash cake, like the remains of the smash cake, to other people. Now, I would eat after my kid. I don't know that I would eat after someone else's kid. It's different when it's not your kid. You don't know where that's been. You don't know where them hands have been, and babies get into everything. So it's a 1-year-old. Yeah, first birthday. If they're crawling, there are a lot of possibilities there. I've just never heard of somebody serving the remains of the smash cake to other people. Have you heard this? Chad, have you heard this? Is this a thing? Is this the thing? Toddler drool, demon peepers. Ew. Oh no, Blue says I was trying to eat breakfast as soon as I heard the title. So I'm sorry. Sorry. Stopped eating. Sorry. Contamination. Turtle Terra says. Hey, C. Rodriguez, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the shirt props. We actually have these at dustythunderswag.com. Appreciate it. Was the kid clean? I mean, who knows, Natalie? I'm sure that the kid was clean. It was the first birthday party and they were taking pictures or doing whatever. But Helene, yeah, we all know babies put their fingers in their nose. My bigger thing is that if they're crawling, I guess at a year it's a coin toss whether they're crawling or walking, right? But crawling on the ground, like unless it's a no shoes house, like people track stuff in with their shoes, and who knows where they've walked and whether the things were on the ground there. So things get on baby's hand that way. Let's assume that even all of that was cleaned off. Baby drool gets on the cake. As much as I love cake, I might still eat it, but I would probably be like, this is gross. I'm still going to eat it, but this is gross. If it was my kid, no problem. Trying to serve my baby's drool mangled smash cake remains to other people, I would never do. Lysol the baby and beer today. It's a good thing this kid can't talk yet. Otherwise, he'd be like, my eyes. I don't think that's good for the kid. Saying it was gross was the issue. It felt judgy. Agree. Yeah, I mean, and even OP is like, I wouldn't have said it if I had time to think. Candy Thunder says, I mean, I would eat Navy smash cake, but that's it. I wouldn't expect others to eat my kid's smash cake. I didn't know this was the thing. I normally there's a smash cake, which is a smaller cake, and then there's a normal cake for everybody else, right? That's how it goes. There's another question about where to submit the story. It flew by who asked the question here, but it is dusty-thunder.com. Just go there and there's a button that will hit you right smack dab in the face to submit your story right there. Tell you what. It's not a thing, that's why it's so odd. Okay. Thank you. Well, sorry, I'm judging. It is gross. Mandy. That sounded judgmental. Good. I was judging. It's gross. My judgment is gross. I get it. Yeah, I think they might not have understood the assignment with the whole smash cake thing. Like, it's a smash cake for the first birthday. Yeah, but the smash cake isn't the only cake. Y'all neglected to get everyone else a cake. And then someone who came really expecting to enjoy cake was like, I can only enjoy cake if I also ingest slobber and boogers and whatever else this kid has left behind on there. And I don't really want to do that. I mean, I would still do it again. I'd be like, yeah, this is gross. I'm judgy. It's gross, but I'd still eat it. Lysol the cake, James. There we go. Books Coffee Tea says, if you don't have a separate cake to smash, just give the kid a slice to smash. That's the way. That's the way. Beer Today says, gross is a touch to the line, but if you got to say that is actually gross, even if polite, not to say it. Rhonda says, I teach 6th grade science, and no. Boogie flavored cake. Toddlers are snot burgers, Demon Peeper says. I don't want a snot-infused cake. Oh, I forgot you were trying to eat breakfast blue. Sorry. The story took us here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Chunky Chick, new headphones. Yeah, these are actually different ones. My Bose I have in my bag, so I can use them with my laptop. These are meant for audio mastering, so it's a more clean signal. They're Rode, as is the mic that I got back from Rode. If you remember a while back, there was something wrong with this one, so we tested it on a stream. Ended up swapping it back out afterwards for that MXL 770, and then I just got this back, and apparently the one that I had and sent in was really jacked because they just sent a whole brand new kit. So props to Rode. And I swapped it in here to start testing this one again. And so far, so good. I think it sounds a little bit brighter than that MXL 7070 or 770, which may be your good or bad thing. I'd like your feedback on that. Ashley, my baby's looking at the phone. Hey, kid, when it's smash cake time, chances are your mom's going to have an extra cake there. But if not, just make sure you keep your slobber contained to a small area. Oh, there you go. Miss D1120, if you're more concerned with them saying gross than feeding guests secondhand cake, it's you. There you go. Cool. Okay. All right. Sounds like we've got we've got enough approval of mic sound. We'll keep it. We'll keep it here. The germs, nope. Cake was used for a purpose of evil in this story. No, Turtle Terror, don't say it. No. Remember, there's two things that you can't use as weapons. One is cake, and the other's kids. And if you use both at the same time, you go straight to ASCON 1. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Do not mess with kids or cake. Straight to ASCON 1 jail. ASCON 1 is just like a prison planet where all of the most severe assholes in the universe are held. That sucks. All right, you know what? Tony Spark, if he's still sober enough to be in chat, again, he's still celebrating birthday week and he's working remote today. So I expect his gummy to be kicking in right now, or it was a Rice Krispie treat, I think. He said he had trouble finding the floor last night. That's fantastic. If you're still in chat, thank you so much for giving us a bonus story. He includes a bonus story if needed. If we end up having enough time, and it's 4:52 on my end. We've got 8 minutes. We're going to get our bonus story in here. There's Tony Spark. He's still here. He may not still be standing, but he's still aware enough to be able to respond. Good gravy. Oh, Blue. Just had to mute, waiting for the next story. Next story now. Here we go. This one is from the AITA subreddit. Last story of the day, and it is, am I the astronaut for not letting my mother-in-law bring her boyfriend to my wedding? My husband and I got married yesterday, and my mother-in-law ended up ruining some of the ceremony over me not letting her boyfriend come. Ah, shit. Long story short, my husband proposed in February. 2 weeks before the wedding, I had my husband's brother remind her that no children were allowed at the wedding. She had no problems with this. The day before the wedding, she calls my husband crying about how she needs to know how to explain to her boyfriend's kids that they're not allowed at a wedding they were so excited for. He stood his ground and told her that they were not allowed to come, and that was that. Hell yeah, good job. The weekend before this was our gender reveal. Since they were already talking, he asked her if her boyfriend came to the gender reveal drunk because multiple guests came up to us saying he smelled like booze. Oh, crap. She said no, they had been drinking the night prior. Well, her boyfriend texted my husband right after this saying how he did drink and it wasn't a big deal. My husband didn't want to argue, so he just said he wasn't upset about it and was just curious. Her boyfriend goes off and said some stuff about my dad. I was hurt that he brought up my father, so I sent my mother-in-law a lengthy message. To summarize, I said that her boyfriend showing up to our gender reveal drunk was disrespectful, and what he said about my dad was inexcusable. I told her I was considering not letting her boyfriend come to our wedding anymore and to leave us alone till I message her, letting her know what I decide. Her only response was, "Well, I just feel like you don't even want me there." Moira had to make an appearance in the last story of the day. The day of the wedding, before I had told her what I had decided, she called my husband saying that her boyfriend's aunt died and his mom is no longer able to watch the kids, so they have to come with them. My husband tells her no, her boyfriend can stay home and watch his own kids. She says that her boyfriend is coming with her no matter what, and he reminds her that I haven't even made up my mind as to if he can come or not, and that his kids aren't coming regardless of the situation. Her saying all of this and trying to force his kids to come was enough for me to say, F it, he's not coming. Thankfully, she showed up by herself. After the ceremony, she starts crying, and my husband comforts her, thinking she's being emotional because he just got married, but no. She starts talking about how I'm not going to let her in my kid's life, making my day about her, and then left. Everyone was talking about her crying and leaving for the rest of the day. She didn't say a word to me. It's the following day, and I told my husband we are going to talk to her today about all of this BS. But before I do, am I the asshole? Hells nah, OP, hells nah. Man. Oh, do we have another birthday going on here? Melissa, is it your birthday? Heck yeah, Melissa, happy birthday tomorrow. HBD. Oh, chat's moving too fast for me to click on your full name. Melissa Cherry Boga 6, happy birthday tomorrow. Beer today. Dope got mentioned and missed it because I cake used my phone properly. Sorry. Dude, if your autocorrect changed can't to cake, I will be the happiest person in the world. That is flippin' amazing. Flippin' amazing. Oh, yeah. On the YouTube chat side of thing, I am right there with you. Absolutely. Ashley says it's the right thing to do. Not the asshole here at all, OP. See, yeah, they're coming to to pick up the boyfriend. It's another mother-in-law trying to hijack a wedding. And not so much hijack like the planning of it, but make it about her. And we've talked about this several times, and I don't know what it is, but some mother-in-laws and mothers can be completely supportive and be like, how can I make this day easier for you? Let me help facilitate things. What's your vision? What's your plan? But the ones we hear about here are the ones that are like, I can't stand for there to be a day that involves my child, my boy, and another woman, and she gets the spotlight for the day. I just can't stand it. And in this case, it kind of feels like mom got transported back to that teenage infatuation phase where it's like she can't imagine doing something without her boyfriend and has to bring him everywhere. And you know, what was life before she had this boyfriend? Was she not able to come alone to things? Could she not be here to support her son getting married? Was that not enough, woman? My God. She had to have her intoxicated boyfriend there. So at least you know what's more important to her, OP, and opening up your now hubby's eyes to this is going to be important because she communicated to him that her boyfriend was more important than him whenever she made this scene after the wedding. That's what she communicated to him. She was like, you know what? I have to leave. She wouldn't let my boyfriend and his children come. I came just out of sheer obligation to you. The only reason I am here was to support you, but I can't even do that because I am so just distraught. I have to go see my boyfriend right away. Also, he just texted me and he's out of whiskey. Priorities, mama. Priorities. Good gravy. There's going to have to be some firm boundaries created there, OP. And this is not a follower submission. This is an AITA story, but there's going to have to be some firm boundaries created there, because this is not going to be the last time you're going to see this kind of shit happen. It's going to happen over and over and over and over and over again. So create some boundaries, get hubby on board with what those boundaries are, and start communicate them in reinforcement over and over and over again. That's it. My goodness. Yeah, she did the drama first and then left. She left to make it more dramatic. I'm so hurt. I have to leave. Goodbye, everyone. I'm very sad. I was wronged. Goodbye. She couldn't just slip out and make it not a big deal. She had to make like a grand exit. Good night. Okay, we are at 5 o'clock here. I need to wrap this up. As a reminder, the Candy Thunder podcast is now out. Parts 1 and 2 are both out. If you haven't watched or listened to those yet, please go check them out. Those of you who have interacted with Candy Thunder before, you know she's a gem. And being able to get her on camera is a rarity. So these podcasts are a great opportunity to pick her brain about not just AITA stories and follower submitted stories, but about some blended family issues too. There were quite a few blended family topics or questions that you all had for us to chat about, and we did. We chatted about them in those podcasts in part 1 and 2. So be sure you go check those out if you haven't already. We carved out a couple shorter versions of some of the stories we covered to post them as TikTok posts. So those are there as well. And hopefully you got a chance to see those. Again, sticker packs are still available at dusty-thunder.com. We have them in stock now in hand, so we can ship them out quick. And we have swag, including the Protect the Cake shirt at dustythunderswag.com, which does ship internationally. So I know we've got people in Korea, we've got people we got people everywhere. And you can all shop there. So that was a big relief to find someone who could ship internationally. And the Thunder and Spark podcast, the very first one, films next week. And although I will not be on camera, I'll be behind the camera helping produce it. And I am really looking forward to this, and I will try not to mess with them too much while we're in filming. So thank you all so much for being here today. Had a blast as usual. If you are new to the storm today, we need to make hoodies for Protect the Cake. I'm writing it down, Zelena. Doing it. Writing it down. Protect the Cake hoodies. Got it. We're going to have a whole lot more Protect the Cake items. So right now on my list, I've got onesies, beanies, keychains, and hoodies. We do have hoodies for like the Dusty Thunder logo and the astronaut and some of that other stuff there, but we will get it set up for the Protect the Cake thing. Yeah. If you are new to the Storm family today, just remember, I don't get those notifications on this new multi-stream chat, so I will reach out to you afterward with a direct message. If you have your messaging locked down to private, I'll submit a request, so just watch out for that, and we'll send you the link to become a member of the VIP group on Facebook. Everyone who gifted and shared and followed and interacted today, thank you guys so much. And YouTube crowd, again, I think we're talking about potentially doing a separate smaller reading that would be specifically for that group, so we can hang with that small crowd. It's when we did that previously, it always went really well, and I really enjoy it. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate you hanging out with us and putting up with my mush of a brain today and having a blast with us. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll see you next time. Thank you to Sarah Waffles for this, and to check out Sarah's Crochet on Etsy, because this is flipping incredible. You guys are awesome. Have a great night and have a great week, guys.